Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Connor.
And I'm Angru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, we promised you another action. This one coming back to you again on Ocean North, and I cannot wait just as much as you, Ryan, to get another map here. But Ocean North we have, and between a couple of old friends, who do we have?
On the right hand side in red, we have AmberT, and he is playing as the Ninth Guard Cossacks. And on the left hand side in blue, we have Hayes as a group Heartneck. Hayes has Maverick Income, and RKK AmberT also has Maverick Income. So both playing Heavy B.
Indeed. Now, I do like to see, we actually have that motorbike mortar coming on in twice, actually.
Oh,
Over
cool.
here from the eastern side. Um, and man, honestly, Rang, our last cast together, man, I'm still trying to get over that.
It's if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's definitely a
My
it's definitely an
my
epic.
nails are completely bitten through. I'm still
Mhm.
recovering from it. But we are going to get started off here. We have talked about the Ninth Cavalry being a little that they fade down at the back end,
Yeah.
and that they struggled against a lot of armor.
Mhm.
Now, Group Hartenek, these guys do certainly have some armor.
Yes.
So is the matchup more German than
Yeah.
Soviet?
Yeah. I definitely give it to the Germans in this run. They are the better armored tanks. The Hetzers are pretty tough to kill uh for the guards as well as the Tigers, of course. And Hartneck has really good infantry as well. They got really good CQC infantry of the cavalry German troops, and really good long range troops with all Hungarian. So it's definitely going to be a bit of an uphill battle, I think, for AmberT. We are seeing actually a Valentine Mark 9 being brought out for AmberT. A very slow and steady tank, but it does have a 6-pounder, and it's surprisingly a really good anti-tank tank, that Valentine Mark 9.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is it doesn't seem to have any machine guns whatsoever. I don't know if there weren't
No,
enough crewmen to go around, or
no,
I don't know.
it's just... they did everything they can to fit that one 6-pounder inside that rather small tank. And as you see, it's really, really bloody slow. Like, that is pathetic speed. It's really just an anti-tank destroyer, in my mind.
Well, it's kind of like a pair of Levi's, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to see the Ogdamachiki opening, which I think that's going to be my name for it, the Ogdamachiki offensive. 6 squads of them to the north, leaving the center line to much more conservative, kind of straightforward troops here. Kazakhs galore.
Yeah, there's a lot of flamethrowers, jeez.
But I think from close range, they do well against the air such trooping, but the Reiter Jägers with the MP-44s, I think, should be just fine against them.
Yeah, yeah, and they have the range advantage if they engage over 100 meters. They just completely tear anything down because, you know, STGs are rather scary.
Yes, sir. Now, we are going to see the T-34Rs, Boita T-34s over here to the western side, try to stop this push from
Mm-hmm.
T-34-76 is a year newer on that model. Being backed up by a Hetzer. That is not going to go well
No, it's not.
for the
No.
76.
Yeah, Hatcher's going to be a real pain in the ass to deal with. It pretty much says a heavy tank, considering AmberT's anti-tank capabilities. I mean, on the field, he really... I mean, the Valentine can actually kill it, but that's about it.
Yeah, but good luck getting that thing close enough. And
I
let's
know.
also remember that the Valentine doesn't have medium stealth,
Yeah, yeah,
which is absurd to a certain degree until you realize how gorgeously tight the profile is for a Hetzer.
I know. The Hatcher is just... It's a goddamn pancake of a tank. And
Oh,
that's
it's
why...
delicious.
That's why we love it. It looks like a pancake too. Like, you could definitely...
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't like all steel and everything, you could probably eat it up.
I'm sure it'd be very scrumptious.
Mm-hmm.
High in iron, I hear.
Very high in iron.
Actually, I think I told you. I got to actually, I didn't get to go in it, but I got to get up close and personal with the Hetzer a little while ago. It's pretty damn
Ah, that
cool.
must have been pretty cool. Where... Huh, that's really cool.
Texas, actually.
That's also really weird. I wouldn't expect a Texas and... I wouldn't expect a Texas and a Hetzer, but I wouldn't expect a Hetzer and a Texas.
Some pretty crazy stuff out there. But we
Mm-hmm.
are seeing the Hetzers are establishing early dominance here, kind
Yeah,
of showing their hindquarters and saying, "Yep, these are ready and engorged."
yeah.
Um, but it doesn't look like Amber T is too shocked by that just yet. I do like seeing the mortars churning out a lot of stress here.
Yeah, mortars are low-key really good. Especially mobile mortars such as bike mortars or mortar half-tracks. As if you can get a bunch of them, they can just stress out stuff really fast because they shoot barrages really bloody fast.
Now, interestingly, first of all, the Valentine has gone down, I think, courtesy of one of the Hetzers. With a nice little
Yeah,
pyre just to the south
yeah.
of that, very stressed out 76.2. But more interesting than that, I feel like Hayes isn't really investing in anything. I feel like we're seeing a lot more from AmberT earlier on, and I don't know if that's a deliberate ploy, or if Hayes has just decided that he wants to be more of a pacifist.
Yeah, Hayes definitely seems like he's a bit more on the defensive so far. He he's not really pushing anywhere much down south. He has like some cavalry Jaegers in that middle forest, but it just seems like he's more concerned in trying to block AmberT's advances, as AmberT's doing another push in the like middle area here. And we've got a tiger being brought out, and that should easily shut down those T-34s.
Yes, it probably will, especially again with those helter-skelter Hetzers.
Yeah, yeah. And those are the 43 model T-34s, which have not that good armor. Not that good armor at all.
And the unfortunate penetration's about as good as their armor.
Mm-hmm. So, in an open field fight, especially against HETZERS and tigers, not good at all.
We're seeing at long last signs of life. Actually, the Commandant coming on in. Okay, this makes sense. We get triple 120 mil mortars, and they're seeing a big tank push down to the south from the Germans. Okay, so prepare to see these flame troops. Well, see them get lit up. That's the only way I can probably think to put it.
They're gonna get blown up. And both sides, I really like how both sides are investing quite a bit in artillery, as you know, artillery is pretty powerful. You can't really go wrong with artillery in this game.
No, you cannot. Now, even more interesting to me, I think this one Hetzer is almost out of ammunition. He's used all of his HE shells, which is not entirely surprising.
No, only has like 11.
But he is quite efficient. I mean, even not having that many AP shells left either.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's something. Usually we see most commanders leave the APCR shells on to get used really quickly. Why do you suppose Hayes is turning them off?
Probably just trying to preserve them for better targets, which is the smart move.
Indeed. The bike mortars are getting pushed back, retreating as barrages are dropping all around them.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing 3 Panzer III Ns support tanks being brought in down south here. Just trying to do some like quick penetration in the southern side. Which is honestly a good call for you, as in that area they're pretty good for SMG. Or like, not SMG, but infantry.
Suppression?
Support, yeah, because, you know, it's a short-barreled gun.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is that, frankly, they don't really need to have a ton of anti-tank, necessarily. Those woods are going to keep most tanks at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Kazakhs with the PPSHs, I think be a little more concerned about that.
Yeah, if they can get in close and use that AT grenade, which they do have to get pretty damn close.
But a couple more air/troop and meat shields and a P-Grand behind that, so I think it's fairly safe to say that Hayes is stringing himself together a potentially very deadly attack.
Yeah, if he could penetrate down south, he could capture an easy flag on the hill and potentially hook his way up north into the town. And his right Jaeger is not having a good time. That's because... Does he drop smoke on himself? No, that's just an AT.
No, that was
AT
TNTs
grenade.
from both of them.
Yeah. But it's going to be enough to get the kill.
Now, I also do like that these mortars are being very active on the German side and targeting anti-tank positions.
Which is perfect, as knocking out every single AT gun you can, especially against Cossacks, is good, as Cossacks don't get that many AT guns.
No, they don't. Now, I do want to check into the north. Ognomachiki opening is doing alright. It's not been completely brushed aside yet. It's an awful lot of firepower and really not that much investment. But where it counts, they're losing troops.
Yeah. And this T-34 penetrating up north is getting some rather nice hunky-dory ground. There is a Valentine being brought in, but he's going to take his retard time getting to the front line.
Well, and a Sherman for that matter as
Mm-hmm.
well. I think part of it, I want to go back down and watch those Panther 3s do their thing. Oh, never mind. They could try to engage a T-34. That's not going to go well.
Nope. Not the best firepower against the T-34, that's for sure.
The tracks are being broken right now. In fact, we got two of them there. Push your T-34 north, my friend.
Okay, a headshot. I think he's getting a headshot to go in that area. Yes, yes he is.
But it's not soon enough to save one of them.
Nope.
But first airplanes come out as well, so we actually have the Log Series 3-4 coming on through. That's a rocket plane, isn't it?
Yeah, anti-tank rocket.
Now, we talked about in the last cast, the 9th Cavalry doesn't necessarily have great air power.
Nah, it's nothing really too fancy. It's really just due to the fact that anti-tank rocket plane I find to be pretty pants. It can kill HETZERS. It's okay killing HETZERS, but when it comes to like Tigers and Panthers, it's not the most reliable thing. And considering your ground AT is for the most part pretty lackluster, you really do need some reliable unit to deal with heavy tanks. Especially
Well, and broom
when,
bars, by the way.
yeah.
Don't forget the broom bars. So it's the Lions and Tigers and Panthers and, broom bars.
All those bloody heavy tanks, and I wonder if any of the Eastern Front divisions have a broom bar. I mean, 21st Panzer will definitely have it when they get released, but
there are only about, 80 of them that got made. I'm sure someone's going to yell at me in the comments about it. There were not that many that got made overall.
yeah. So maybe it'll probably just be 21st.
The Hetzer gets forced to surrender by a PPSH and one heat grenade.
Very convincing heat grenade.
The more we comment about it, at the same time, they still somehow find ways to be effective.
Mm-hmm.
And now, even as I think about it, I feel like that whole idea of having the super, super close-range AT grenade kind of plays into the whole Soviet mentality.
Oh, getting close and
give your life for the motherland, exactly.
Yeah, I also like how I was just thinking like early anti-tank tactics before AT bazookas and rockets came in. Like the military history video where you surround a tank, you pop smoke around it, you use mines and
6 or 7 to 1. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel like AT grenades are in this. You have to smoke the tank, suppress it, get some criticals to make it not as combat effective, and then you rush in and pop the nade and blow it up.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure how you would code that necessarily very easily into the game.
It'd be a pain in the ass. I mean, you could just smoke it and do stuff, but that's what reminds me of AT grenades in this.
I do confess I wish there was a teeny tiny activatable ability to just sprint as the infantry.
It's just I just need to move just a little bit faster. Come on.
Ooh, the Hungarians are being called to the front. We are to Phase B, by the way, of course. So the HETZERS troops are coming on in, and you know what? I remember when they announced the whole Hungarian stuff. Forgive me, I was very derisive. I know that. These guys are pants.
Yeah. I believe HETZERS stands. It's motorized infantry for the Hungarians, so that's why they're pretty well equipped. Because the Hungarians didn't really have many tank divisions or motorized units. I'm fairly certain. So the few that they did, they equipped them rather well. Though I'm no Hungarian military historian. That's just what I've heard. If you want to correct me, feel free to do so in the comments.
But we are looking down south. It is still 1311.
Mm-hmm.
And unless we're talking about the flamethrower squads, Germans have pretty much cleaned up.
Yeah. You got a T-34 in the middle that tried to flank a Tiger. Didn't work. It forced the Tiger to get shot from the 45, I think, from a side shot. So it is kind of working. Kind of.
Well, and the mortars, they have one more barrage, and they're going to start barraging their own troops. For the love of God, switch your troops. Switch your aim. Oh, well. Otherwise, looking at other places. Crew killed. Let's see, and I know this is not going to get coded, but it'd be really so cool just to watch guys just clamber up over the tanks and just,
run away. Yeah, that'd be cool animation. Yeah. You got, infantry being brought in from Hayes down south. He's definitely going to try to capture out Forest, I think. Well, it's been a pretty even Stevens match. We're 13 minutes into the match. AmberT's bled a little bit, but it's still trove. Nothing really too crazy going on.
True, but you can kind of sense his desperation down to the south. He's got 2 more Shermans as well as his 3rd Valentine. He's got to be running pretty low after this.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely used quite a few tanks, and with Cossacks, you do run low without tanks, and the Katusha's coming from run end, the smoke coming to save it from the other end. I do like that play.
It can't be too healthy. That's going to definitely cut into its life expectancy. It cannot be healthy, huffing and puffing.
Yep.
Oh, wait, AmberT tried to do the same thing to the north. 2 more Shermans and another T-34. And that push has been completely devastated. Hasn't been easy, especially the Tiger Fuhrer over here. Track's broken.
Oh, yeah. And that range, the Tiger's going to have a lovely time against those tanks. Unless he gets stressed out. And that anti-tank rocket plane is going to do so. Really get the kill, yo.
Yeah, things like a shotgun. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, just... Barely did any damage. And I understand anti-tank rocket planes were pretty inaccurate for the day. They weren't the most reliable thing en road, but in terms of a gameplay perspective, they just seem completely useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, the infantry push has completely taken that forest. We do have the occasional T-34, the Boitzer versions, that is, kind of behind enemy lines. And I think that's probably going to get forced back pretty quickly by the Valentines and attendant tanks.
Yeah.
But there's too much here. There's too much junk.
There's a lot of junk.
Okay, I was going to say, I was wondering where the Opel Blitz was. Now we have the Opel Blitz coming on in, so that's fine there. To the northern side, yep, T-34 is going to get forced back just by that forest. But I think, right now, I'd have to give the very, very easy advantage over here to Hayes. Even in spite of all these Katyusha rockets going after this Tiger, I think he's tunneling a little bit too much at this point.
Yeah, he definitely feels like he needs to make some sort of push. He does have a point advantage now, at least, but I definitely feel like he could probably push this middle area rather well with the I think that's a farm. Like a little farm in the middle of the Kazaki squad in like northern middle area. Those are 2 pretty easily capturable flags. And with his battle group, he can fight over open ground extremely efficiently. So might as well, get some Hungarians over here, get some Tigers, some HETZERS, and move your raid to the other side.
Pardon me while I watch these Hungarians try to push in to get a HE grenade off on that Sherman.
Up north?
No, it's not going to happen, poor guys.
Right up north?
Yeah, all the way up north,
oh, yeah.
There's be some heroic stuff going on there, but wait,
nope.
The Red Jäger behind. He's not moving at all. He could have
come on.
Completely wrecked them.
You got a bloody Panzerfaust. That's
exactly.
That's top tier equipment here.
It really is. I mean, those things are insane.
Yeah.
We do have a few more squads of P-Grants coming to the center. We have a few more Hungarians to the south. No, we have 2 Tigers down to the south. I'm starting to wet myself if I'm a Russian.
Yeah, he's heavy. All these Tigers are a real pain in the ass to deal with for AmberT. Like, his best bet is to get in really close and either try to get them to surrender or get a really close shot with the Shermans and blow it up. But that's kind of tough when there's a giant 88mm gun pointing at you from 1.5 kilometers away.
That is putting it rather mildly. And that Tiger to the north, he is seeing that open ground, and he was like, oh, look, how delectable. Thank you. I'll be happy to kill you.
Sherman's getting in. Does get first shot. Loader knocked out, but the Tiger returns. He had to run in the chamber, and it was a kill shot for the Sherman.
And 2 more Tigers coming in, too. That's the thing. Group Hartneck, honestly, when I first heard the announcement for them, I didn't know what their TOE was, but good God, they have just an insane amount of firepower.
Yeah, when you think of, when I usually think, German makeshift, battle group, I'm thinking, it's gonna be like Paris Prison. It's gonna be terrible. It's just some ragtag nonsense. But Group Hartneck, they really, you know, they got like the good ragtag stuff and slapped it all together. You know, they are losing the air power, and that's not really favourable, as you know, using those airplanes kind of sucks, especially for Group Partnik, who has a pretty good air force to begin with.
Can we look down south for a second? We have all of these Kazakh PPSHs moving over open ground, and they're getting absolutely destroyed by the Hungarians and HETZERS.
Yeah, absolutely minced on. It's really coming down to the Sherman giving fire support to help out here, but it's only one Sherman versus a bunch
Tigers
of infantry.
galore and a flanking T-34,
Oh,
and it does not matter. This southern flank is completely gone right now.
Yeah. Yeah. The T-34, yeah, I thought it was getting 18-aided, but no, it's a flamethrower. And the flamethrower can't really do too much. But it's a lovely push here from Hayes. And with that forest under his control down south, or like north of the road, he could potentially get into the southern town. And that would be some lovely flags to capture.
Well, we do have that Tiger P... Oh, no, wait. Oh, no. Okay, so T-34, Tiger, and a Hetzer. That's a really interesting trio. Go northwest of the town.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
A very interesting trio right there.
You got a Czech tank, kind of, a Russian tank, and a German tank. It's like a half Czech tank. Well, depends how you look at it.
Wow, the Valentine actually does pick up 2 kills in the south, though, so he's not been yet engaged by the Tiger. But then again, that Valentine does not have HE ammo, something that I think is escaping right now Hayes' realization.
Yes, no machine gun. It's really good at killing tanks, because it also has like 12 rounds a minute, which is pretty respectable for a proper anti-tank gun, and 2-star veterancy to boot. But yeah, if those right Jaegers just walk up, those Valentine guys inside are just going to be like, bliat, and get blown up.
Is that how they say "merd" in Russian?
Yeah, I think something along those lines.
Okay. More right Jaegers been brought on in, as well as a committed anti-air platform, kind of like that here. Especially in the wake of all of the German air cover getting completely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But 15-9 over here, and the Germans continue the relentless march over here. Not so much to the sea, but they are doing rather well.
Yeah, up north they got the flags under control, and they got one of the flags in the middle here. They're so close to getting this town, and as we can see from our point of view, there's barely anything in the southern town. There's a Kazaki squad, and then a leader squad. That's really it. All it really needs is one Hozok to move up in the open and get those 2 flags easy peasy. But no.
I am seeing these Zis guns being brought on up from the eastern side, going in this forest here. Not great positions overall to see, though this Katyusha might have something to say about it.
He has a very loud opinion. But not enough to really do much to the Tiger.
No.
Yeah, that's rather... Did he shoot all the rockets? Yeah, he did shoot all the rockets. Yes, he did. That's rather anticlimactic.
Very underwhelming.
Oh, and you know what else is underwhelming?
The Lie Series 3 coming in?
Yeah, look at yes, it's going to be some party poppers.
Yeah, but he's going to watch him play like the MP-44 troops. No, he doesn't even do that.
What? That's so sad. It's so sad how rubbish that is.
I'll make a Borderlands reference. You know the Necromancer?
Yes.
The second one, ever so vaguely. The entire point is just kind of shoot randomly and hope you hit something.
Mm-hmm.
That is the lag.
Yes, yeah, it is the lag. I mean, at least up the suppression damage so it like fully suppresses a tank almost. At least. Because if you're on a tank and you get shot at by, you know, from a flying death bird in the sky shooting rockets at you, I would be a bit scared, even if my tank is, you know, extremely well armored. Getting hit from the sky is not exactly pleasant.
I do say those 2 Zis guns have acquitted themselves well. They take out a T-34, they killed the Hetzer, they killed a half-track or 2, and they're pretty easily going to take out that Tiger, I would assume.
Yeah.
And the Katyusha is trying to find the artillery park and just barely misses it.
And then the mortars returning in kind to the Zis-2 guns, and just look at them go. Like, mortars are great, absolutely great. People should just use mortars. Such good artillery pieces.
I would tend to agree with you there,
Mhm.
sir. Okay, what is that? Oh, the LA7s? They're looking. Oh, they'll go for the Tiger.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just twos are completely pinned down. Really, those just twos are AmberT's only effective way to really kill tigers in a ground warfare engagement.
Indeed. Now, it is also worth noting that we did see that push you were looking for, that the Raita Jaeger is coming on in to very, very quickly push back
Mm-hmm.
this Russian infantry, and there goes the town.
Yeah. And yeah, 16-7 to Hayes, and you know, there's not really much AmberT can do. Like I said, Cossacks have a really, really tough time in open ground engagements, and once we get into the later game, they just start running out of stuff.
Well, now the Germans have themselves a rough gun line down to the south. They have that entire eastern level of that force, as well as a couple troops sitting in garrison at the on top of the flag.
Mm-hmm.
The driver's been knocked out over on that Tiger, so we still might see a death. Bit of an iffy one. Nope, just the one. Yeah, gun left.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to go the way of the dodo. And other than that, I mean, we have a whisper of a counterattack to the north. PPSH up against a couple of Hungarians, and the Hungarians say, you know what, we don't like your communism.
No, they don't like it at all. They're gonna really voice their complaint through a lot of semi-automatic rifle fire.
Yeah, they say, let us alone. Go Trotsky that someplace else. The Husarok's going to get in on that T-34-76? No, probably not.
No.
But I like their pluck. Well, the unfortunate thing is, too, is that the SVT squads over here from the Kazakhs, they don't have any committed AT. We talked about this actually in the last cast, that it's one of the major downfalls. I feel like that, is that the overall firepower is a little bit underwhelming for them.
Yeah, you do have the Osna. I mean, to be fair, that Kazakh SVT squad is like 15 points. They're pretty damn cheap. It's like same price as like an OSAT trooping, and they're better equipped, and they have Reg, you know, not disheartened. But it has a problem with the Cossacks in general. It's just ground AT. Like, you do get some of those Osnash troops, like with the bazookas, which are nice, but they're only really good in close range engagements. And you know, Tigers, for the most part, if an enemy is smart, won't get close to you.
Worth noting, in the meantime, we have a squad of Hungarians who are holding the line as their German comrades actually fled the field. To be fair, those Germans also, though, did just get hit by a Tu-2 with that huge Waffen-S bomb.
Yeah, the big 1000.
I think the technical term is Waffen, but okay.
I think if we go back to Soviet military documents and translate it from Russian to English, it would be referred to as a Waffen big bomb that they dropped on the fascists.
Indeed. Now, speaking of fascists over here, these poor Reiter Jaegers in the center part of the field, they've taken an AT gun, but they paid for it with their lives. And, well, I dare say we're going to see some more LA-7s making gun runs at the infantry. Oh no, going after the Tiger at long last. Yeah. But again, it's not going to do a whole lot. I don't understand why you're engaging so much on that Tiger.
It's because he needs... he has nothing else to really deal with the Tiger. He's just throwing out all the strings, and as you see, those bloody interceptor planes do better... I'm just tripping over all my words today, Khan. They do better stress out damage on the Tiger compared to a goddamn AT rocket plane.
Certainly seems that way, doesn't it?
It's... If the AT rocket plane was better, I think this division would definitely be much more powerful, especially when it comes to these Tiger engagements. And there we've seen the lad come in once again. He goes, he shoots, and actually we got a pretty good hit that time, but not enough to get a full-on suppression.
You know, the funny thing is that Hayes, for the longest time, was like, oh, I'm being attacked in the south. I'll let it wait. This makes him think he's doing well. And, yeah, that's going to be the end of a lot of troops.
Yeah, he's going to move from the southern side to capture one last flag, which all he really needs to do. I mean, there's no point really pushing up any further down south.
Nope. I mean, he still has the -2 happening here for another couple of points.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, yep, those LA7 just not doing a whole lot. So, men of the match so far, would you say the Hetzers, or would you say it was actually this Tiger?
Probably both. I mean, just the open ground advantage that Hayes has managed to get has really helped him secure this lovely middle area and get him a lot of easy flags under his control. Up north, he's having a bit of a harder time holding, though he still has the two main areas under his control, which is good. He just hasn't managed to get to the enemy flag on the right side, but he should be able to hold it. The Hussark, so yeah, he's got Tigers and he's got 3 goddamn Tigers bunched up, so not really too much AmberT can do on that northern flank.
There's a Katyusha barrage down to the south, and it does take out one Tiger. There we go. At long last, the Katyusha barrages do something.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of investment of support, and
Yeah.
in return, the mortars are just shelling everything to death.
Yeah, killed a mortar motorbike here.
They're desperately trying to find that Katyusha, but you know what? They are unfortunately seeing it just as where he was, not where he is now. Another barrage to the north, another Katyusha barrage? Yes,
Yep.
he's aiming for the next Tiger strong point. I do not believe we're going to get a whole lot out of it. Nice little thematic shot here for a second. Oh, my gosh. These are rather hefty thing.
Yes. Big kabooms. Does manage to stress out one Tiger and almost get the other two, but I mean, yeah, he's got the push with the PPSH rods moving in through the north, but it also sucks. It's gonna take a rather long time to kill for the Sherman, honestly, as they're pretty well entrenched in those buildings.
Sounds entirely possible there. We did have some weird kind of like death or glory charge from a Sherman down south. Trying to go after that Tiger Fuhrer,
Yeah.
but he was pretty unflappable. And yes, the men are about to collapse, kind of like a cheap card table here. And yep, here come the Hussar. Zarosk.
And the bomber down
Someone's going
south.
to correct me. I appreciate that if they do. And that, yeah, that's a surrender. AmberT knew it was coming into him. It was like that was the number 6 train. You cannot stop that.
Yep, and yeah, he just ran out of momentum with the knife. Not too far on kills, only like a 700 point difference between both sides. And looking at kills for AmberT, nothing too much. Losses, however, Jagdpanzers are pretty good.
Tigers are picking up multiple vehicles.
Yeah, pretty expected stuff, honestly, for these tanks. But yeah. I mean, I think that really showcases the real problem that Ninth can have in an open ground engagement, because Tigers and HETZERS is scary stuff. We don't have much heavy AT to deal with them.
So we're talking like a high B kind of tier here, or we're talking a little lower than that? Of course,
I'd
we
say
haven't
a
seen
little
the full
bit.
divisions.
I think out of all the divisions so far, Ninth Cossacks is the weakest division out of all of them.
Interesting. That's an interesting
Of all
call.
that's been showcased so far. Just because of that, they have such a hard time with heavy tanks. With the previous Soviet infantry division, with like the KVs, at least you had like KV-85s, which had, and the Run IS-1, which had high penetration guns at least, with the 85 mils, which was nice. But yeah, for now, I'd say Cossacks is probably the worst division in the game so far in terms of just, statistics, power, all of that.
Well, folks, you heard it here first. Cossacks, well, they need to get back on their horse for right now. Not doing too well for the moment. But for right now, I think that's going to conclude our coverage, at least for the next couple of days here.
Yep.
As always, though, hit us up if you have a game you want us to check out. But until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru, take it easy.